What up, peoples? Mr. Anomaly coming at you again. Shout out to our boy Gorgeous Dre. I want to do a reaction to this. It made me think of this quote: "Hard times create strong men create good times create weak men, and weak men create hard times." He's gonna say some things. I'm just gonna kind of get my 2 cents on it. Another day with Mr. A. Here we go.
What do you think about this city girl era where the music is influencing the average woman to almost act like a prostitute? Only use a man to get money out of a man. Don't mess with him unless he's buying you expensive things. What do you think about the mindset that they're propagating through the music right now?
Well, I'm not shocked, not just through the music, just in our culture, period, right? This is not my original. I heard somebody say this before. Very smart, understanding of the situation. I think it was I was on maybe YouTube or IG, and I heard somebody say something. And I was like, that's very profound, and it's the truth, right? But what they said is that in a society, when you have ultimate masculinity and ultimate manhood, it produces ultimate femininity. It's a trade-off. It just automatically produces ultimate femininity. On the flip side, when you have a culture that has been emasculated and feminized, right, it produces in the woman ultimate masculinity, right?
I wanted to kind of do my 2 cents on this. What I've been saying for the longest time: we live in a society that's ran by a bunch of Potiphars and Ahabs who are ran by the immoral Jezebel. When you live in a society that emasculates the men and makes the women more masculine, there is an imbalance. What type of society do we live in? And this is across the board. Men are taught that they're toxic for being masculine. Men are taught that women can do it too, and you ain't. We live in a society that willingly neuters the masculine energy. How do you expect these women to act out here with all these Potiphars and Ahabs in power? Everything is out of alignment, and it's going to have to get worse before it gets better. That's why I be laughing, man, talking about some Gen X women, not Gen X, but Gen Z women are done with dating apps. They're going to start going out here and just meeting people organically. That is not going to happen. You have a large chunk of young men who are told they are toxic, and being masculine is just a bad thing. Their balls have been freaking neutered, bro. And what are you guys expecting to become of this?
What happened? Your balls drop off?
City girls. That's all the freaking results of men who are not standing in their masculine, God-given authority. It's going to have to get worse before it gets better. That's why I talk through most of these women, because I already know where they are on the freaking position. I already know where they are. It's pointless going back and forth. I got some more videos. I'm going to kind of explain this, man, because the indoctrination is hard-coded. We live in a society right now that caters to the immoral woman, and it promotes this immoral behavior because masculinity has been neutered. What are you guys expecting from this, man?
So that's a transfer. That's exactly what we're seeing right now, because we as a culture have been emasculated, right? Feminized. Somebody might say, I ain't been feminized. We'll get to it. I'll explain to you. Emasculated and feminized. And so what is happening and what has happened is the women have become masculized, right? They become extremely masculine. So I'm not shocked by that era of city girls and all that, because everything drives from the man. right? When I look at the condition of the culture and some of our women, I'm not necessarily blaming the woman, right? It's not that I don't give credence to some of her behaviors, but it's just that I'm so empowered about who a man is, right? That it's because of the man not being in his rightful position that have allowed her to be out of position.
I get what he's saying there. And like I said again, what type of society do we live in? I've been calling this out for the longest time. I'm glad I posted the very first video I did about not having sex. We live in a society where men out here base their masculinity on the almighty woman's approval. He can put it down in the bedroom, try to satiate her, try to make her happy. Getting women, how many women you get, that's defined by masculinity. You dudes set up here and let these women dictate your masculinity. That's why I want to do this video. And we'll sit here and try to gaslight me and try to shame me because I don't think like you motherfuckers. This is very important. This is the society we live in. You dudes actually let women, it's like a freaking rite of passage to manhood, which that is the furthest thing from being a freaking man, is women and how many women you can knock down. But we got so many Deontay Wilder simp mother suckers out here that sit up there and placate to this crap. You dudes sit up there and base a woman on being truly masculine. That's why most of these women walking around here like they shit don't stink. I blame you men for this. This is the society we live in. This is my 2 cents, and this is what I've been noticing. I can tell you a couple of 3 things about this. So many men have been emasculated, and most of these women are masculine. That's why most of these women are boss bitches. Most of these women are more women who got OnlyFans and they want to go out here and be whores because men are not doing what they're supposed to be doing. And just like he said, I'm so confident in the masculinity, I can't get mad at the women. What type of society we live in? That's why we laughing at dudes up here getting mad. The woman did this, the woman did that, and I paid for everything, and I did this. That is your fault because you're not standing on business. You're not standing on principle. And to be fair, we live in a society that tries to sit there and say that you're toxic for doing that. A woman's purpose is a man. These women are under demonic indoctrination because you're already hearing these independent women, I'm a boss bitch, I'll go out here and get it myself, and I don't want to sit up here and submit to a man because so many men are not doing what they're supposed to be doing. And this is what I've been saying for the longest time. If you're hitting on all fronts, body, mind, and spirit, you don't have to say anything. They're naturally going to get in line because their purpose is a man. The problem is they deal with too many Deontay Wilder ass set motherfuckers who base their masculinity on the woman's approval. That's why most of these women be talking shit. When I heard him talking like this, I wanted to sit up here and give my 2 cents on this because I can tell by how some of you dudes try to project that weak ass shit onto me. Heard some simps up there and say, I don't feel like I'm a man if I pass up on a woman. Me, I'm the complete opposite. I totally do. I don't sit up here and let them dictate my masculinity like so many of you dudes out here do. That's why I talk the way I talk. That's why I talk through most of them out here fornicating. Like that video I did with Umar. You develop preferences. There ain't no satiating it anyway. But that's the society we live in. And in the black community, most of our men have been emasculated, growing up in single mother households. Is it a wonder why most of these women out here sit up here in these masculine positions, in these masculine orders? That's why I said, man, the average black man trying to get involved with a woman, the shit y'all be going back and forth with, dealing with these women, man, I told you, I'm in my masculine. Man, I don't deal with that shit, man. They be getting quiet around me, bro, because I got rules, principles, and guidelines and shit I'm not going to tolerate, man. But most men don't because y'all base your self-worth on the woman. And she knows that shit, too. And she going to chew your ass up and spit you out. That's what I'm doing a reaction to this because I can say a couple or 3 things about this. He is absolutely right about the society we live in.
Yeah. Right? So many girls and all that, because everything drives from the man, right? When I look at the condition of the culture and some of our women, I'm not necessarily blaming the woman, right? It's not that I don't give credence to some of her behaviors, but it's just that I'm so empowered about who a man is, right? That it's because of the man not being in his rightful position that have allowed her to be out of position.
Who are you, Adam? That's why we laughing at these dudes talking shit about relationships. It's like, bro, you're not in your position as a man. And this is why I keep telling you guys, before you get involved with a woman, you need to figure out who the fuck you are. Because most of us aren't going to be getting women that's going to be in the muck and mire with us grinding. Most of these women are going to show up at the finish line. If she's showing up at the finish line, it is very imperative that you get some rules, some guidelines, and principles. If you're going to be one of these ninjas up here that are wanting multiple women and she's showing up at the finish line, you need to tell her that up front. Tell it up front she's not going to be the only goddamn one if you hitting on all fronts. I done told you guys I want at least 3 because I understand that most of these women I come across with have already been sampled in some form or fashion. That's why I want 3. If I'm going to settle for that, I want 3. And I'll be by my goddamn self. I don't give a shit. That's how we going to roll. But most dudes don't stand on business. You must not get a lot of women talking like that. So many dudes play the game just to try to get some used vagina that they give away from Ted Bundy and Pookie's for free. And you do something trying to mold yourselves over this. Said it before, I'll say it again. You do separate molding yourselves on this.
Girls say yes, they mean yes. But when they say yes, they also mean no. When they say no, they sometimes mean no, but they sometimes also mean yes.
Yes.
Or it could be a maybe, but maybe is a yes. Yes, so maybe also means yes.
Yeah, and the guy should understand
Yeah.
what she means when she says yes.
Yes.
What is she thinking when
Right.
she says yes to this, as opposed to, okay, she's saying no, but she means yes.
Like, is it a no or is it a no? Or is
You
it
know,
like
like,
a no? So when
Well, I tell you, man, and it's really bad in the black community because most of us have been raised by single mothers. Let me let him go in. He gonna say a few more things I'm gonna cook on, man, because this is some good shit, man. That's why I said if you hitting on all fronts as a man, they do what you allow. But so many dudes put the woman on a pedestal. I'm nothing without a woman. A woman's my everything, end all, be all, the ultimate happiness. How the hell do you expect her to react if you're putting her in God tier deity status? And I can tell you a couple of 3 things because you motherfuckers try to project that onto me thinking I think like you normies. This is where we are, man. Let's keep going.
Yeah. Right? So let me just say it like this. I like Kevin Samuels. He had a few little things to say, you know, that had some truth to it. But I disagreed with him on a lot of things. And when I did so on some videos, some of his fans and people out there, they were really angry with me. And they're saying, well, Dre, man, you just jealous because he has 1 million, you know, subscribers and this, that, and the other, and whatever they were saying, right? So the reason why I addressed the situation with Kevin Samuels is because of his influence over black men, emasculated black men, that this is a sign of an emasculated black man. An emasculated black man will find something to blame. Listen to what I'm saying. Bring your whole mind, right? That's what I say in my classes. Bring your whole mind. This is the sign of an emasculated black male, right? Or just a male, period, right? He's always looking for somebody to blame, for something to blame for the deficiencies within his own character.
That's powerful, bro. That's powerful, bro. He's always looking for somebody else to blame. I'm just going to get my spin on this, and one thing I noticed in the community, most of us are raised by single mothers. Most of us, the woman is the heavy influence on our upbringing. What does most of us come across when we growing up with single mothers? Oh Lordy, oh I'm struggling because I chose pieces of shit to have babies by, and now I'm dealing with the results of that. But again, you don't know any better as a child. You see your mother suffering. Oh Lord, it's hard. The white man's out to get me, and that's tough being a single mother, and oh, they out to get me. And that trickles down to the man. That's why you got these grown ass motherfuckers out here still blaming this invisible white man. I've been saying this for the longest time. That's just basically dudes who are raised by single mothers. And I can tell you a couple of things about this, because even my own mama does this shit too. Always, every time I go over there, every other time I go over there, she got some slave movie playing, freaking Joe Biden, Blue State, Donald Trump bad, Claudia Jordan watching mother. It's sad, bro, how she's so indoctrinated. Most of our moms are freaking perpetual victims, man. That's where it stems from. You got these grown ass ninjas out here blaming everybody else for their freaking insufficiencies. Go back and watch my Slacker video. I've always been self-aware. I don't blame nobody. It's all you, especially if you live in fucking America. You're the only one that's holding yourself back, but you got so many dudes suckling on the teats of the dysfunctional ass single mothers, and they download the same shitty spirit. Same thing about these relationships. Dudes bitching and complaining about women. It's you, Adam. It's you. But you just want to appear, you got a woman who's sucking you off. You want to sit there and try to make her happy because you think you can't get another woman, and you just tolerate everything, and you still end in ruin. That is your fault. That is your fault. I told you, man, if you truly walk in that path of being in your masculine, you don't have to say anything. You don't have to go back and forth. You don't have to sit up and argue and try to convince them. They can smell it on you. But so many men are raised by women, and that's why we are where we are in society. And it's going to have to get worse before it's better, because we got too many Potiphars and Ahabs in power. And that's what I've been saying for the longest time. And I see what he was talking about with Kevin Samuels. Even I call that shit out. You got KS out here with these freaking black men who've been neutered, but you still think you making six figures and you're the man. Man, please, that woman still ain't gonna respect your ass because you don't freaking have no freaking internal fortitude that's not based on stuff. This stuff is all internal. It's all spirit. That's why I want to do a reaction to this, bro. That's just my take on this. I just want to add my spin on it. Shout out to Gorge Drake. I've been calling this crap out for years, man. So many dudes seek the approval of the Jezebel. That's the society we live in. You ain't a man unless you get the almighty approval of the Jezebel. Woe to the man that bases self-worth on that. That's where we are in society. Like he said, I ain't sweating the city girls because I know where I am as a man. I ain't dealing with half the shit you dudes be dealing with because I'm not going to tolerate that shit. Yes, most of them are going to run, but that tells you the spirit of most of these dudes out here telling with these women what they want to hear just to get involved with them. You compromise yourself. That's what I've been saying. You compromise your masculinity whenever you sit up here and got to be a simulation, a banger simulation. You are lowering yourself. And I hope that you stretched out vagina is worth it. Don't be trying to project that shit onto me thinking I think like you gumps, man. It's going to hit somebody, man.
That is the sign. For every dude out there that want to know, for every female out there that want to know, that is the ultimate sign. You're always, or they're always looking for something to blame for their deficiencies. Well, if the broad would have did this, and if this would have did like this, and if this would have happened like this, then I would have been okay, right? That is not manhood. That is femininity.
That's not manhood. That is femininity. What did God tell you? I told you, Adam. Oh, it's the woman you gave me, God? No. You need to freaking establish rules, guidelines, and principles. But we live in a society where a bunch of simp-ass Deontay Wilder motherfuckers base their self-worth on women. And they got a larger scale than I do. So many men be watching these people. And most of the stuff be ended up in ruin because you dudes be freaking basing your whole freaking personality on a freaking illusion. And it's really bad in the community. And I said before, I said again, most of these dudes be downloading these programmings just to have at bats with these Jezebels.
That is emasculation. And I've said this before. There is no culture outside of particularly black culture where men blame their women.
I see a lot of white dudes blaming their women. The whole MGTOW concept. That's why that shit blew up, because a lot of white dudes like, okay, fuck this, man. But again, that's on you, because you don't have no rules, guidelines, and principles, because you base your self-worth on freaking low vibration hedonists, and then you gotta sit up here and bang women and all this dumbass shit, and then tie that to masculinity, bro. I tell you, there's a method to my madness. I'm glad I talk the way I talk. It is what it is, man. I don't know what you dudes are expecting out here, bro.
You don't see any other race blaming their women.
That's not true.
Because it is a shame to blame your women. Because what you're in essence saying that you're not man enough, right, to produce what's necessary for her to naturally submit before you.
Who the hell are you? So many dudes base their self-worth on a woman. Did you get lucky? Did you get lucky? I get so tired when I hear men talking like that. Did you get lucky? You don't know what that woman was like behind the scenes, but you're so caught up on the exterior. He's not wrong on this, bro. So many dudes are lost in the sauce. You better figure out who the hell you are. Get some rules, principles, guidelines, especially if she hasn't grinded with you. If she shows up at the finish line, even more paramount. But you dudes watch too much fucking Disney romance out here, bro.
Ooh, let them know.
Right? So, but you don't want to take that kind of responsibility because you've been listening to Kevin Samuels tell you that, oh, at best she's a 10, or at best she's at 7, or at best she's a 6, right? So you're looking for a reason to blame why you're not up to par, right? You're looking for that reason. Sign of emasculation. Right? See, I've never had an issue with a woman submitting to me. Never. Black woman, Mexican woman, whatever race she is, I never had an issue for a woman submitting to me. And I didn't always have a lot of money. When I first started off in the lifestyle, I didn't have no whole bunch of money. I started from zero. But I never had a problem with a woman submitting, even though I didn't have no money, but I had, a lot of beautiful women. Why is that?
That's pretty much it from Gorgeous Dre. I'm going to give my 2 cents on why I think that is. He sat up there and said he didn't have a lot of money, but he always had access to beautiful women. You know why I think that is? Because his purpose was beyond the woman. His purpose wasn't the woman. His vision wasn't the woman. You freaking lonely ass motherfuckers out here thinking, man, y'all too romantic. That's not how that works. But I truly believe his purpose wasn't the woman. That's why they stuck around. They knew they wasn't the number one priority in his life. Hey man, that's just my take on it. What y'all think about that? The milk has been spilled. The die has been cast. All you can do is move accordingly. You dudes think you're going to find something new out here? Find some type of romantic connection at these women out here on the CC?
What a grand and intoxicating innocence. How could you be so naive? There is no escape.
Hey man, the milk has been spilled, the die has been cast. All you can do is move accordingly. That's all I just want to add that, man. That's all I got on this one. I am out. Latest.